part of the crisis of belief in our society, in my opinion, is a crisis of knowledge. Because of the activities of the Atheist Brigade, our young men and women are being denied the fruit of thousands of years of intellectual effort on matters of faith and belief that has been produced by the best minds the human race has ever produced. To have a rounded sense of God, it is necessary to use all your human faculties: reason, spirit, intuition, emotion, conscience, memory, imagination, to name but few. Nonetheless, can get to know to the knowledge of God and the reality of God through reason alone. Atheism does require its own radical leap of faith, but its biggest problem on rational grounds is that it is inconsistent with the world and life as we know it. The philosophers of ancient Greece, long before the birth of Christ, reasoned their way to God. Most of this is associated with people like Aristotle and many more. But those movement was a movement among many philosophers and poets of the ancient Greeks. The Atheists were integrated into Christianity in the 13th century by one of the greatest philosophers and theologians that we ever produced. And that's a guy by name Thomas Aquinas. Thomas Aquinas provided his 5 ways to God through reason. Some people think of it as a way to prove God, but it's a way we reason to know God. Thomas Aquinas was trying to understand, not to prove through the understanding that often leads to belief. All that Thomas wanted to do was to know, use reason to show that God exists. So first, Thomas suggested that motion had to start somewhere, that there had to be an unmoved mover. Thomas Aquinas believed, secondly, that the chain causes and effect is so long, but it had to start somewhere, and there had to be an uncaused cause. Third, contingent beings. That is, beings who rely on some antecedent for their existence must inevitably proceed from a being who relies on nothing for their existence, a necessary being. 4, that there's so much goodness in the world, it must correspond to or proceed from a self-sufficient goodness. And 5th, that non-conscious agents in the world behave so purposefully that they imply an intelligent universal principle. My friend, this is the crude summary of what we call the Thomas argument from design. Let's make this clear. It is important to understand that there's nothing in reason that contradicts God. But our public culture nowadays routinely suppresses this kind of knowledge and mock it and ridicule it, and then teachers are told to teach otherwise. The doctrine of the Atheist Brigade continues to have influence in our schools, in our discourse. Modern science has not made atheism any more or less rational. Science tells us a great deal about how, but nothing, absolutely nothing about why. It is a misuse, therefore, and a misrepresentation of science to pretend that it answers the why questions. When it comes to the why questions, it belongs to philosophy, theology, but not in science. Thanks for watching. I am Kodjo Martin for Evidential University. Please subscribe to our channel. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you. See you next time.